Hari Om, Namaste. Welcome everybody to the 60th session of 108 days of Surya Namaskara or Sun Salutations Challenge. And in this video today, of course, we will be first doing the asana practice, the Yogasana Surya Namaskar practice with 12 asanas. And if you haven't watched that video of what are the 12 asanas that comprise of Surya Namaskar flow, watch this video here in the iCard and you will get that. Now, in the yoga philosophy part today, we will be discussing something very important that is a continuation of what we were discussing yesterday. So I talked about that in Patanjali's Yogasutras. There are 4 sutras that talk about pranayama. Okay. Now we talked about sutra number 49 and 50, the first 2 sutras on pranayama. Today, after the practice, we will discuss the next 2 and the last 2 sutras on pranayama, sutra number 51 and 52 of chapter 2, Sadhana Pada. So stay tuned until the end because we are going to learn that actually the last sutra will be about what happens once the practitioner starts to master this art of pranayama, playing with the breath, in breath, out breath, and the retention. Let's get going. First the practice of asana and then the philosophy part. See you on the mat. So let's begin the discussion on the last two sutras in chapter 2 Sadhana Pada, where Maharishi Patanjali continues his wisdom, sharing his wisdom on pranayama. So we learned about what is pranayama. Remember yesterday, tasmin sati shwasa praswasayor gati vichchedah pranayama. And then in sutra number 50, we learned about that what are the parameters that can make a pranayama different than the other one. Okay, so and we learned that it can be dirgha or sukshma, elongated and or subtle. Now in this next two sutras, first we will learn about a fourth kind of pranayama. Okay, fourth kind. What are the third kind? We learned that the third kind can differ by the parameters of desha, kala and sankhya, which place you are focusing on, how long you are doing it, and for how many repetitions, right? And depending on that, the pranayama, once you observe the breath, the pranayama can be elongated and subtle. Fourth kind is what he talks about in 51, sutra number 51, Sadhana Pada, chapter 2. It says, bāhyābhyantara-viṣayākṣepī caturthaḥ. Bāhyābhyantara-viṣayākṣepī caturthaḥ. There is a fourth kind of pranayama which occurs by intense concentration on an internal or an external subject. Okay, bāhyābhyantara, external and the internal subject. So this is a very subtle one, and that's why he talks, of course, after he mentions the first three kind, because it comes with practice. It comes with practice and it happens naturally. It's not that you try to do it. After a certain time, after a certain amount of practice, it will automatically happen. Okay, it will automatically happen within us that once we find the right kind of object of concentration, it will automatically happen ki our breath probably will be in a Kevala Kumbhaka state, means only where it is retained and stopped. No in breath, no puraka, no rechaka. Kevala Kumbhaka. Kevala Kumbhaka is an example of where by that intense concentration on an internal or an external object, breath is completely stopped. And here stopped means they are not dying, the energy is preserved and it's not expending a bit. Minimal expenditure, right? So very subtle. So this is the fourth kind of pranayama, bāhyābhyantara-viṣayākṣepī caturthaḥ, right? Concentrating intensely on an internal, external or an internal subject. Now, the last but not the least, and I think, oftentimes the practitioners, whatever practice is it, they would like to know, if they are going to the root text, that what happens, what is the end result that we are going this practice for. Of course, in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Shri Krishna talks about karmaṇyevādhikāraste mā phaleshu kadāchana, chapter 2 Sankhya Yogasūtra, sloka number 47. Karmaṇyevādhikāraste mā phaleshu kadāchana. Now we have only rights to our action. So we only have rights to our actions, not to the fruits of the actions. Correct. But what I'm saying is, it's not about you are going for the fruits of actions, but it's about the knowledge which you can use it to intensify your sadhana, intensify your practice. So the sutra number 52 actually talks about what happens once one master starts mastering the breath. He says, tataḥ kṣīyate prakāśāvaranam. Prakāśa avaranam. Tataḥ means then, means once we have mastered this 1, 2, 3, 4 kinds of pranayama. Kṣīyate means starts weakening. Starts weakening. What does start weakening? Prakāśa avaranam means whatever veil. Avaran means veil. Achhadan. Veil. Whatever veil we have over the prakāśa, the inner light that is there inside every one of us, our true self, the source of eternal bliss, source of eternal wisdom, right? Our true nature, our Atman. Whatever light is there, that light is usually veiled by some junk. What is the veil of our ignorance? Now with this mastering of the breath, that veil over that inner light starts dissipating, starts weakening. Tataha kshiyate prakashavaranam. Very, very clear. No ifs and buts. Very, very clearly mentioned. Sutra number 52, chapter 2, Sadhana Pada. So that's why pranayama is so important. And you might ask that if pranayama is this important, then what can be a good pranayama to start with? Now, to answer that question, I am planning to hold a live session very soon. So stay tuned on this particular topic. One pranayama that can be a fantastic start and that itself can change our life. Okay. So with that, I would like to draw this session to a close, because I just want to let this, whatever was shared, seep through you today, and whatever I have shared before on pranayama and the other limbs of yoga. So we covered the first 4 limbs: yama, niyama, asana, and pranayama, right? Next we move even to subtler things, even as the fruits of the action. These are the kriya part of it, right? Of course, there's another kriya. Fruits of the action. Once you have started mastering these limbs, what happens? And it becomes only more and more subtler. Antaranga sadhana it becomes. Okay, we will see in the after 6th, 7th, and 8th. We will see in the 6th, 7th, and 8th limb it will be antaranga sadhana. But there is still a kriya part left in the next, the 5th limb, which is dharana. We will continue it tomorrow in the yoga philosophy of tomorrow's session discussion. Okay, so with that, let's bring close to the 60th session of 108 days of Surya Namaskara or Sun Salutations Challenge. I hope ki you are enjoying this series thus far, and if you have been enjoying this, and if you are learning something new, something meaningful, something helpful to transform your life, please, please, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and the bell notification icon, and do comment in the videos. In every video, in whichever video you feel called for, to share your thoughts with me based on these discussions, based on this practice, because that will help me to fine tune, to bring, to add more resources in these sessions that I'm crafting for you only. Okay, and it also helps the YouTube algorithm to share this video with the like-minded people. Okay, so thank you so much once again. I really appreciate your joining with me throughout this journey. Take care, be well, keep mastering. I said this, mastering the breath. Hari Om.